Hello everyone and welcome to episode 68 of Podcast of Five Rings, your source of enlightenment in the realm of video games, tabletop, anime, film, and tech. Each episode of Podcast of Five Rings releases Monday mornings on iTunes and SoundCloud and Talk Topic day by day on YouTube, with the full video releasing on Friday. To catch updates about the podcast or for other news, give us a follow on your social media platform of choice listed in the description below. I'm your host, GM and overseer of Podcast of Five Rings, Obsidian, joined tonight by the wall that will not fall, Tetsuo.
Hello.
Hello, Tetsuo.
Meow.
The Dark Fortune Duelist Meta.
I return after 1,000 years.
We all return after like 3 weeks. and bad scheduling for all of us. And the resident wild card, Mao.
Yo.
Meow.
Meow.
So what's been up with everybody over these 3 weeks? We've gotten a lot of video played, I hope.
Yes.
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, not really, because WoW.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Which I'm finally taking a break from, so I can play other stuff until the new patch comes out.
Play something good.
Like SoulCal 6.
Yay,
I do.
So
I've loved all the characters. The custom characters.
I've been playing SoulCal 6. It's actually not bad. I enjoy it.
I'm loving it.
It looks fun.
I really like it. It looks fun. It is fun, and it plays fun. So there you go. It meets all three criteria. You should pick it up.
I watched a little bit of the stream where all the pro fighting game players were playing it. I think like the day it launched or the day before
Those
or
are
something.
insane to watch. Like, to try to follow, even if you know what's going on.
It was like Justin Wong and Sonic Fox and a few other guys.
Yeah, it's all your classic pro circuit players.
I've been playing a lot of video games, but I also got I started rereading comics.
Oh, nice.
What comics?
Just the Marvel stuff. Which is mostly the various Spider Peoples. There's a short arc called Web Warriors that I just loved. It's very like campy and doesn't take itself too seriously. It starts out it's a spin-off of the Spider-Verse, so the different multiverse spider people.
You've been all over that Spider-Verse stuff lately.
You know the two Spider-Men pointing at each other and the Spider-Man behind a desk meme?
Yes.
That's the universe it starts off in. Because they were looking for somewhere to train without any risk of dying.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's great.
Yes.
Anything else for you guys? Or is it just
what have you been doing, Tess? Getting ready to become a dad.
Yeah, I've been prepping a lot of the house. I actually just got done changing out the faucet in our kitchen sink, which was a saga and a half, even though it shouldn't be. I will say this, though. I am quickly learning that a lot of the things that you can do around the house are not nearly as hard as I thought they were. And so it makes me happy to know that I can do a whole hell of a lot more stuff than I thought I could.
As long as your crap's not falling apart, like, our foundation is cracking or something like that.
Right.
There's a YouTube video that will teach you how to do it somewhere.
That is the same thing I thought when I had to replace our sump pump and install a backup one as well. Is that it's just a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It's only when we were changing out the original sump pump materials that we found out that it's a pain in the butt, because if you let any of those materials get too old and they haven't been touched in forever, and they haven't been replaced since, I don't know, the Ice Age, it might cause a problem when you try to take it apart. But once you put the new stuff in, it's really quick and easy.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I don't know why I am, right? Like, it's like that's one of the things, I guess, that you always assume one day you'll learn how to do everything, but at the same time, it was just like, it's really nice to know I can do all this stuff and not worry that much.
Good. It's good. It's a good skill to have.
Say again?
It was a good skill to have.
Yes.
I'm still having the I can't stop grinding in Dragon Quest problem.
Oh my God.
No, it's even worse in this game for some reason. Above all other games, I don't know why. I just have a compulsion to grind levels, and it's the freaking
Have you even
license
gotten to the
brand.
halfway point?
No, I'm nowhere close to it, and I think I'm like 25 or 30
playing.
hours. I know.
This sounds exactly like what you did with Bravely Default.
Yeah,
remember
it is.
correctly,
I
you
can't
just
finish
grinded
Bravely
the
Default
classes
either.
up.
I had to put that down because I was maxing out.
Halfway point, your skill trees enlarge again.
I know you told me, but I can't help it. It's some weird I almost said STD. It's some weird OCD compulsion.
Some weird STD
That's an
compulsion I
STD
have.
I've gotten. Oh god, from all these waifus and all these games, I have to
get
grind.
to the point where you can like really open up the world, because then you
Yeah.
can hunt metal slimes, and it makes the grinding so much quicker.
Okay, all right. Well, now you're convincing me, Mal. You gotta overwhelm my instinct with logic, cold hard logic. I've also been playing. I think I kind of talked about this a little bit. It was a game I wanted to play, Shining Resonance Refrain, which is a Sega JRPG. It's basically Tales with more waifus, and it's really fun. I've been enjoying it as well. So,
Neat.
and World of Warcraft, which I play on the weekends with my friends and do dungeons. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
Mao, you're up first. Meow. MAOW. Why don't you talk about your
The
topic?
main video game I've been playing
Uh-oh.
after the disappointment that was Pathfinder was I broke down and bought the newest Assassin's Creed, Odyssey.
Gasp.
Yes.
Tell us of your journey, Odysseus.
So it takes place in ancient Greece. That isn't obvious.
Yes, I didn't know. What is this grease for everybody who doesn't know?
It's what happens after you cook bacon. with
Yeah, it's
water
a
that's at the
giant
bottom of the-
fryer, a vat
It's
of
a giant fryer.
grease.
That's what happened. Just a big vat. Just contains it all.
You done?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
go
I
on.
made the joke. Go for the low hanging fruit.
Anywho, so I didn't play the last one, which was Origin, which this takes place before Origin, so it's more of an origin.
Do they? But do they ever really connect? From what I understand,
Yeah,
like they
so-
have loose connections, but not.
Yeah,
strong.
yeah. So Origin was the origins of the Assassin Brotherhood. This is before that, so there's no assassins running around. But there's
Wow.
there is the foundation for the Templars running around already. But so yeah, it's like I don't actually remember the exact date. It's like 400 or something BC, somewhere around there. And they do. I know that they've started bringing back some of the more present day storyline into it. Which, because I think Assassin's Creed 3, they killed off the original main day protagonist,
Yeah,
Dem. I don't remember.
Desmond.
But and then it was like you work for this company and you just and there was no real storyline after that. But in the last two they brought back, though it's very minor in this one, but it is more than it had been. But you find the spear of Leonidas, or in the present day, the person, and they, for some reason, they are able to pull off the weird bit is 2 strands of DNA out instead of, I don't know, the countless amount of people you murdered with it. So you can choose as
That's a very
either,
valid point.
yeah. So you can choose to play as either Cassandra or Alexios, male or female.
Who'd you choose?
'cause I guess they decided.
I think
that it was
Alexandra
worth
is
the effort.
canon one, correct?
What?
Didn't they say Alexandra was the canon?
Oh, I have no idea, but I play Cassandra.
Yeah, that's it. Cassandra,
Okay.
that's what I meant.
I will probably always choose female when given the option. It's just what I like. And yeah, so you're a mercenary on this little woods island, or backwater island, and until the plot happens to you.
That's
which,
weird.
actually, you've had this here, but
Okay.
yeah, something happened to you in your childhood where you ended up on this island, and the part of the main story is figuring out the truth about yourself and your family. But it also takes place during the Peloponnesian War. It's Sparta versus Athens, and then there's also a third storyline of Atlantis stuff.
Oh, cool.
What?
Yeah. So
I'm assuming
there's
that has to do with the precursors, or
yeah. This is a big game.
Yeah, I've
It's
heard people say their files like over
huge.
100 hours.
Yep. I think the average to just normal playthrough is anywhere from 60 to 80 hours.
Holy moly!
Yeah. And they've really leaned into the RPG elements of from Origins, because Origins is kind of like a rebuilding of the franchise. And now they they leaned further into the RPG stuff with now that you have a dialogue wheel and stuff, choices that actually have in-game consequences and stuff like that. And now, and coming back from Origins is you level up and have abilities as you level up.
Is this the
And
BioWare
stats on your
game that
gear.
you didn't get with Mass Effect? In a way.
Kind of. It's kind of like a BioWare game and similar to like Witcher 3.
Huh.
Just because of
But
the open
definitely
worldiness.
it's but it's also very Ubisoft, right? Like there's still
Yeah.
familiar exploration styles Ubisoft uses, collecting stuff.
Collectibles.
Though it's not
favorite.
usually
no,
just
that's what I
go
was
to a
about to say.
place, pick up a thing. It's usually like explore this cave, kill the this power or the stronger than normal animal, or figure out like there's like, or there will be a side quest, like find out what's wrong with why the gods are tormenting me or whatever.
Are there references to Homer and stuff in it?
Homer? I don't recall. I mean, there's lots
Odyssey
of
and Iliad.
mythology stuff all over. Like it's post like it's it's not like as even like the stuff from Greek mythologies in the past for them at this point. Like, but like at one point you come across a someone who's the descendant of Odysseus, or claims to be, or whatever. She's trying to figure out her like legacy and stuff. Like they make references. They still believe in the gods though, and they worship those gods. But like all of the heroes have gone past.
The jumping back here a moment, for the exploration of the world itself, is it done mostly through like side quests, or can you just like go full on adventure?
It's a huge map with a lot of island. Like half the map is islands.
Okay.
Probably. Like, so the naval combat is back from like Black Flag.
Okay.
how does it compare to Black Flag's naval combat?
It's pretty similar. I think the map ends up being too big for it though sometimes, for at least the travel part. Like the combat's relatively similar. Like you don't have cannons, but you have you can throw javelins or fire arrows, and then you can ram people. But it has like the upgrading the ship like in Black Flag. It's very similar to it. Probably the biggest complaint is sometimes if you're going to a faraway island, it just kind of feels like you're going, just look at my phone while I'm traveling. Like,
I mean, there's
you have
not
to go
really
a little faster.
to unlock either.
What's that?
There's not really any sea shanties to unlock in the same.
Oh no, there are.
Oh, there are.
You get different, or I don't know if you unlock them, but you can switch sea shanties, and I don't know, I haven't noticed because I haven't paid that much attention to them. If you get different crews you can equip, like, and they have a different aesthetic, and like they will sing differently depending on what crew you equip, especially if you go between a male or female crew. Because like a female crew kind of sounds like more choiry. But I haven't really paid enough attention to know if they have like their own sea shanties or whatever. But it's not like the Black Flag where you have to like do an obstacle course to unlock and chase around a piece of paper to unlock a sea shanty. So the map is huge, but it is level gated. Like you can't just go anywhere at the start of the game.
Okay.
Because it'll,
So,
you can't go into a level 30 area while you're level 10.
Is it physically level gated or level gated as in if you go here, they're gonna kill you?
The second.
Okay.
Which I've seen a lot of discourse on people not liking that, but as someone who plays primarily in RPGs, that doesn't bother me. But like people who aren't on the RPG side of things, it's like it breaks their immersion or something.
Yeah, I can see that if they're more of an action player.
Right.
Yeah.
So you also have, as far as the mechanics go, you have warrior, hunter, and assassin trees for your skills. They also kind of refined it from Origins, because Origins is kind of a mess with the skills. Like there are the 3 trees but they also sometimes like loop around in a circle, like for prereqs and stuff, I guess. I don't know. This one is just 3 straight trees that don't like you don't have to get one on your warrior tree to unlock something on your hunter tree. You just go up the line. And it's which warrior is melee, hunter is ranged, and assassin is stealth, basically. I primarily play with I like assassin's what I play, like put everything into first. Because I don't know, something about stealth games, like flips a switch and I'm good to go. Like I'll sit in this bush forever, just waiting for a guy to come by and to take him out, which of course you don't have to. You can, because there are like forts you can overtake, and you can just
those become like your quick travel points.
Run in. No, quick travel points are the eagle points or whatever they're called, where you like climb up to the high points.
Okay, the towers, basically.
Yeah. And you have in Origins and in this one you have an eagle that you can actually see out of. Like you press a button and it goes to an eagle flying around, which is how you can like scan for enemies and stuff, or objectives.
That's very nice.
Yeah, which that ties into the storyline stuff of why you're different or whatever. Your eagle, the gift of eagle sight or whatever you have.
Ah.
So, and you also your gear, like weapons and armor, have will boost certain stats. Because like I make sure all of my gear has stealth, or assassin stats or whatever, which again ties into the RPG elements. Because the way assassinations work is it goes off of your assassination stat. Basically, if it's high enough, you can just one-shot someone. So you want to, if that's what you're going for, you just want to make sure, like, it's like you don't really have to like watch the number, as long as you're making sure your your primary focus is on that stat. You'll be pretty fine. Because you can also at blacksmiths raise items levels. Like if you have this level 5 gear and you're level 10, but you really like it, you can just pay a blacksmith to raise it up to that level for you. It might cost a bit depending on the level difference.
So, a question based off of what you just said: can you assassinate somebody and they not immediately die?
Well, you do like a stealth attack, but they won't die from it outright. You won't do all of their health.
Okay.
A sneak attack damage is what it sounds
Which
like.
I think has been part of Assassin's Creed for a while now. There have just been certain people that you can't one-shot, which has been the divisive thing. Like usually, especially amongst the like main targets.
Yeah.
Which,
see, I don't remember that at all, but maybe it is the case and I just don't remember.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Again, Black Flag was the last one I played.
I don't remember that in Black Flag, but then again,
I don't remember that on the first one. I remember the first one I could technically.
Yeah, no, the first one you could just kill anyone, which they've gone further and further away from.
Feels very anti-assassin like.
Right. Well, and technically you're not an assassin in this one, so
that's true.
I don't understand. This blade is sticking out of your neck, and yet you only have like half of your life gone.
I missed the jugular.
That's part of the as you go towards more of an RPG style, you also get further away from that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But if you're using stealth assassin skills and like you have that and that's the stat you're using, like you'll probably be able to one-shot anyone that's around your level. At least that becomes more of an issue if you play on harder difficulties. I also know, because they just kind of inflate health and stuff for the difficulty, which
Hate that.
is lazy. But I don't usually play games on harder difficulties these days because, I mean, just playing on normal is going to take me 80 hours. I don't need to play it on the harder mode. Yeah, so yeah, I've seen a lot of people going back and forth on that, but
How do you feel so far about the game as compared to your last experience with the series?
it's definitely my favorite one in the series. I just like what they've done with it. I mean, I play RPGs myself a lot more than anything else, and I also love stealth games. Though, like, stuff isn't a focus, but can still do it if you want in this. Like, I don't think there have been any tailing missions really, which is like the one thing I've always hated in Assassin's Creed, because I think it's more of an AI issue though. But yeah, so I also like that they're leaning a bit more into the fantasy side of things. Like, one of my assassin abilities is I throw. It's actually like Leonidas' spear has been broken, so you only have a little bit of the hilt and then the spear. So it's kind of like your assassination dagger is what you use it as. But you can I can throw it at someone from far away, and then I basically teleport to them and assassinate them.
Noctis!
Yeah.
Which
so
was
that's
always
like my
satisfying
favorite ability.
to do. I always love those kind of abilities in games.
Yeah.
Blink kills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, I'm guessing the combat otherwise was still pretty actiony.
It's not. So I consider it a lot better than older Assassin's Creed combat, because that was wait to parry and then press attack button, and that was like all there was to it. Now you've got like it's much more of like actual combat, I guess. Like, I don't know. The previous Assassin's Creed actual combat like always felt very basic to me. Now you've got skills you can use, like there's Bull Rush warrior ability that lets you charge someone.
It's more of like where you can press a button, and then as they swing, you could also parry the attack and then go for.
Yeah, you still have parries and dodges in this one. Like, if you dodge or parry at the right time, it kind of slows a bit, giving you a bigger opening for to attack back.
Yeah.
And one of the skills is like one of the archery skills, I believe, is like bullet time for shooting arrows. The story's pretty good up until the later, like the third act is where it starts to get a little weak, and I think it's just because they tried to do too much. I think the biggest flaw of this game is they tried to do too much. I think the map is a little too big, and the game time is just a little too long. And then trying to juggle the 3 different stories, I think ended up weakening them a bit. The game is gorgeous. Like, just traveling around ancient Greece,
I like the ancient Grecian aesthetic, if that's the
word. Like, this one thing whenever I like
Grecian
playing back through this or getting back into the Assassin's Creed franchise in general, it's really like makes me appreciate just the fact that there aren't any other like historical games like this.
Yeah.
And the fact that they do the research, like, obviously it's it's historical-ish, but they do research things like if someone died mysteriously, they can work that into in a certain time period you're playing. They can work that into you being you assassinating them or whatever. Yeah. And then they draw on famous characters and stuff for the games, and especially in the RPG world I live in, is like no other game is like that. No one else touches that sort of storylines.
But Mal, did you play Order 1886?
No.
How they also accurate was that?
100%.
I don't. No, werewolves.
Yeah, based on a true story. Mao was based on a true story, man.
They also added a mercenary system, which is basically like the Nemesis system from the Mordor games.
Yeah, which people like.
Yeah, it's a nice feature. That's because I mean, I guess it's like as you do more, as you piss more people off, like as in GTA or whatever, you know, you get the more stars or whatever, you get the infamy rating goes up, and then people will pay mercenaries to deal with you. And as there's like a tier of them, and as you beat stronger ones, you go up that tier, and that unlocks benefits for you. Like maybe it's just cheaper stuff at the blacksmith and stuff as you go up that tier. There's like an arena as well that is you find after killing like the first one, I think a letter that tells you about it, but it's like a level 25 thing, so it's a while to get there. I think so. Over the years, Assassin's Creed has had a lot of like mini systems, like the naval combat, and now with this, and just a lot of managing an assassin, a brotherhood, or whatever.
Yeah.
I think using them like every 2 to 3 games, you know, gives them a lot of options. Like I would not want them to do it every game, but like obviously Origins didn't have the naval combat. This one does. Like not everyone needs it, but that way when it does show up, you know, it feels more special, possibly.
Might give them some time to think about and well.
Yeah.
Not that they have to, but
yeah, I guess I mean I think they just have the 2 companies or studios working on Assassin's Creed, so that they can't, like, you know, they took more for the first time between was the last one before Origins Syndicate?
Yeah.
Syndicate.
Yeah, for like after that, the first time ever they took more than a year off or whatever, or you know, or
yeah, because they had one every
had a
year.
year off or whatever. Yeah, but this one came out a year later, but that's because they had 2 different studios working on them. So I assume we'll get the next one the year after next. Probably it'll be like the system it's on.
And this is a lot of people's. They're saying it's right up there for Game of the Year. So
yeah,
it's been very well received critically.
It's definitely my favorite Assassin's Creed game. It's probably not. It's not my game of the year.
Yeah,
but it's probably It's probably in the top 5 at least if I sat down and thought about it. Maybe even top 3. But
So does it beat out God of War?
no.
That, that's the important one. Got to make sure that the real Grecian.
That I think God of War is my top pick of game of the year right now for me. Honestly, it was a really good game.
It's top 3 for me. I had a much more love-hate relationship with the game, but we'll talk about that again at the end of the year. I really want to play this game. I mean, there's all the big AAA games. There's a lot that I want to play, but I'm kind of holding out because I know they'll go on sale.
Right, I was, but then I was just like, I saw so many people talking about it and like how good it was.
Yeah.
Now,
RDR2's out.
I've definitely
There's
gotten my money's worth, even at full price.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, like 80 hours for
80 hours a game. That's a good game. Is totally
even if
worth
it stumbles on the ending or whatever near the end. Like I'm not someone like Mass Effect 3's ending didn't ruin the entire journey for me. So like it takes a lot to like. It has to be a bad game through and through usually for me to be off of a game. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's really great. If you didn't like Origins, it's probably they refined some of it, but it's probably not enough of a difference for you to want to play this one.
Yeah.
But man.
Oh.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds like a game.
But the real question is, when does Tats get it? Because he's the real Ubisoft fan. Or does he care since it's so very RPG?
Right.
Like.
Oh, I will say that. I forgot to mention like you don't have to grind just by like fighting enemies, you know, and grind XP that way. You can't just do the main story. You do the like you don't have to do all the side quests, but doing some of the side quests is pretty much mandatory, which I don't view as a bad thing because you're still like the side quests aren't you know necessarily just go kill 5 boars or whatever, right?
they'll tell interesting little side
Also,
stories.
yeah, you get interesting characters, funny characters, or whatever. Also, if you come across something that's for a quest later on, and someone's like, "Oh, I needed this from this place," and you're like, "I already did that, or I already have it," they'll be like, "Okay, quest completed." Like, you don't have to backtrack, which is one thing I wanted to say I love.
Probably necessary.
Yeah.
With how long the game
But yeah,
is.
I was just gonna say, like, the grind, like, some people view it as grinding playing side quests, but it's not like RPG grinding.
Yeah, it's not just mindless. You're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.